Hi everybody, Kurt coming from you at Petland Norwin with our weekly segment. We normally do a little bit of a live video. We'd let you ask some questions, but you can still feel free to post questions in the comment section of this video and we'll get back to answering. Today we want to talk about dog food. There's been a lot of information out there about grain-free versus with grain or grain-inclusive diets. Right now the FDA is doing a study on grain-free dog food possibly being linked to DCM, which is a heart disease in dogs. At this time, there's not a ton of information, but they are putting data out there that can be a little bit confusing to you and even to us and some of the dog food companies. So to start, we do have statements from almost every single dog food that we are carrying here in the store, and we have these available for you here at the store. If you want any information from these companies, we'd be more than happy to make copies of this for you and give them to you or go over them with you in person here. So some of the things that we want to talk about, and I'm going to cite the data here just so I get it correct entirely. There is an estimated 77 million dogs in the United States. And of those 77 million, about 0.5 to 1% have DCM. That's not related to dog food. That is just a fact. Of the 77 million dogs in the United States, up to 1% are going to be diagnosed with DCM at some point in their life. Of those 1% that are diagnosed, 0.1% has possibly been connected to diet. So again, there's nothing in certainty, and unfortunately I know this video might not give you all the answers, but right now there's just a ton of uncertainty. When the study originally came out a few months ago, they talked about possible Taurine Deficiency. That's a supplement that the dog's body can produce, but they're thinking that grain-free diets is blocking the dogs from naturally producing taurine. In a few of the cases, there was a lack of taurine present, which could be related to the DCM. All of the grain-free dog foods that we are feeding here have taurine added, and a few of them, since the study has come out, have even gone to add more taurine to their diet to try to proactively combat that if that is a problem. There's been, I think, about 550 cases, maybe a few more cases that have been reported, and a total of 70 brands have been named. But in the most recent report, there were 16 brands that were listed that had a little bit of a higher instance rating. So to talk about just some specifics here, I've heard it's potatoes that's causing it. We've heard that it's lentils that are causing it. Some vets I've heard have said peas are causing it. Then we've had other vet customers that have walked in and said, well, I talked to my veterinarian and they've told me that it's lentils or it's peas. Just to be clear, they have not cited an actual ingredient that is causing it. They are not sure what is causing it. They are doing further studies, and the dog food companies have initiated their own studies as well to try to understand what's going on. So this isn't to say that, hey, you should or should not feed a grain-free diet. What this is to say is we want you to have the information. It is still an insignificant amount of dogs that have been diagnosed with DCM. Obviously, empathy, we want to show empathy to anybody and sympathy to anybody that has had a dog with DCM. And we're not saying that you should feed grain-free food, but there are obviously pros to feeding a grain-free diet over feeding a with grain diet. And to other dogs, a grain-inclusive diet may be what's better for them. Or if you're more comfortable with that food, we want you to feed that diet. So there's a ton of great grain-free diets, but there's also a ton of great grain-inclusive diets. And we wanted to show you a few here and just talk about what's like some do's and don'ts when it comes to dog food and what our philosophy is. So here, we think that what we're looking for and what you're going to see in all the dog foods that we carry is that we don't like to see corn in a dog food diet. It is just a complete filler, and just like you and I, dogs also do not digest corn. Also, what we want to stick away from is byproducts. And byproducts essentially can contain dead, dying, and disease. They call it the 3 Ds of byproduct. So if you're looking at your bag of dog food at home and you flip it over and you see chicken byproduct meal or poultry byproduct meal, or I've even seen it go as much as meat byproduct meal, the dog food company isn't even giving you the courtesy of telling you what type of meat they're putting in the food. They can use dead, dying, diseased chickens or meat in the process of that. Also, specifically when it comes to chicken byproduct meals, it can contain feathers, beaks, feces. It's not saying it does, but because they list it that way, it means it can. So whenever you come to our store, we carry typically brands that are going to be corn-free, wheat-free. Wheat's another filler. Sometimes we'll just see like corn flour. It's not. It's so we're sticking away from like the real high in sugar. Corn's high in sugar filler. And again, the byproduct. So what we like to see whenever we're looking at a bag of dog food is that it's a meat first ingredient, okay? And it's chicken over chicken meal. People get confused by that again. Chicken meal is actually the cooked up version of actual chicken, and it's a better ingredient to see than chicken is the first ingredient. If you are doing grain inclusive, we recommend rice is highly digestible. Oatmeal is highly digestible for animals, so you normally will see those up there. Yes, rice is still a filler, but it's highly digestible. It's still palatable for the animal, and it's not considered a bad filler. You'll get more of a food with chicken and rice or a lamb and rice, but almost every single diet that we carry makes both a grain-free and a grain-inclusive diet. So if you're on a grain-free diet and your vet said, hey, until we kind of see what's going on, gonna go to a grain-inclusive diet, you could probably look at that same brand. So again, you have Nutrisource here, who is a huge manufacturer of dog food. They make a lot of other people's dog food, including themselves, because they have some of the best facilities in the world for creating and for manufacturing dog food. But here you have their chicken and pea formula, which is their grain-free diet, and sitting right next to it in a very similar looking bag is their chicken and rice diet. So this would be grain inclusive. So if you are looking to just err on the side of caution and switch your dog from grain-free to with grain, you can always stay within the brand. From has grain-free and grain-inclusive. Blue Buffalo has grain-free, grain-inclusive. So again, it's Taste of the Wild is created by Diamond. There's Diamond Naturals. It's the step down from Taste of the Wild, which is their grain-inclusive diet. So you can come in, talk to a pet counselor. We've done extensive training with them on DCM and how to answer the DCM questions. So again, when we were looking at a bag of Nutrisource here, the first ingredient's chicken, followed by chicken meal, then brown rice, barley, chicken fat. What's nice about that is you got several meat ingredients before your first non-meat ingredient. So again, we're reading it's a good ingredient label to go with. You can also supplement if you're worried about protein levels with switching from grain-free to a grain-inclusive diet. You can always supplement your dog's diet with something like a freeze-dried diet. This is, again, this bag right here of Primal, 78% chicken organs and bones, 22% produce and supplements. And again, you can supplement that into your diet. That's going to increase the protein level that your dog's getting. So when we look at the complete analysis on this, this is 37% protein, where your typical with grain diet is running between, you see them anywhere from 18 to 26, 28%. So I know, again, I'm not sure if you guys have more questions, put them down in the comments for us. I hope we answered some questions here for you or cleared up some confusion. And then again, we have all the statements from the dog food companies up here that we can obviously make you copies or print out for you to take home if you want to do some further studying. But that's all I'm going to have for you guys today. So feel free, again, questions in the comment section. Thanks, guys.